seek help, end the stigma. On the news this evening, President Tinubu, former President Obasanjo, others mourn late elder statesman Edwin Clark. Rivers Police arrest transformer vandal syndicates, receive gunboats from IGP. NSA hands over 59 rescued kidnapped victims to Kaduna State government. On the foreign scene, Lebanon calls for full Israeli army pullout from territory. I'm Sam Chinedu, and the news continues after the break. Back. We begin with reactions to the death of elder statesman Edwin Clark. First to speak is a former spokesman of Pan Niger Delta Forum, PANDEV, Anab Saraigbe, who believes the death of Edwin Clark is a monumental loss to the Niger Delta region and the entire country. Mr. Saraigbe, in an interview with correspondent Suibiru Wari, said the death of Clark has created a big vacuum that will be difficult to fill.
Sad news to the entire Niger Delta and indeed Nigerians. The logo of the Niger Delta has fallen, and so there's a grief across the region. We are in a very sad and mourning because our father has died. It is very important to the people of Niger Delta because of his outstanding performance in protecting the cause of the region. Obviously, he was also the leader of the southern Nigeria and the Middle Belt, a nationalist, a true leader, an advocate.
PANDEV former spokesman also spoke on the attributes of the late Edwin Clark and what he will be remembered for.
How I wish if we have the power to revive him, we would have revived him. But I think he died because he has accomplished his mission. He will tell you he is always at the departure now. He has gotten his tickets, he has gotten his boarding pass. The plane that will carry him has not come. But last night, that plane that he was waiting for came. He has left. Nigerians as a whole will miss the voice, speak to authorities, and tell the people the truth at all times. And will oppose all aspects of dictatorship in the country, be it military and be it civil.
Also, President Bola Tinubu, former President Olusegun Obasanjo, and former Vice President Atiku Abubakar described the death of the former Federal Commissioner of Information as an irreparable loss to the nation. In other news, a resident of Road 1, Woji Estate, Port Harcourt, simply known as Chinedu, has expressed frustration after vandals struck the area on Saturday night, stealing the armored cables from the transformer. He said this during an interview. Mr. Chinedu also lamented that many other transformers in Woji had also been vandalized.
Those of us who have stuff in our fridge and all the rest, it's not making sense. There was once where they tried to vandalize this transformer, and we took effort, we made move to see how we could actually work on it. But somehow some stuff came up and all the rest, and we didn't achieve that. Yes, PhD was supposed to come shut it down because, of course, we can't work on it while it's still connected. They didn't come, and we left it. So seeing this happening now, which was the same thing we're trying to avoid, it's actually being terrible. The heat is really something else. The weather is hot. You can't sleep in the night. My body are awful with rashes and all the rest.
Mr. Chinedu called on the PhD, police and other authorities to take action.
transformer, it's according to their policy, this is the property of PHED. So I also feel even the getting it well secured should also be their responsibility, because we pay for these things. These are the things we pay for. So it should be their responsibility to get it sorted out. Okay, now that something like this has happened, they're supposed to come see what they can do, see how the problem can be resolved. But nobody is making any move, and then the police should also look into this, because we have a strong feeling that whoever did this is a professional in this. So I am also calling on the police to investigate this. This is like the 5th transformer that is being vandalized within this area.
A correspondent reports that the vandals arrived in a Hilux vehicle, one masked, another armed in military camouflage and holding an eyewitness at gunpoint, while the rest carried out the operation. Meanwhile, police have arrested 6 members of Transformer Vandal Syndicates and their mediator terrorizing Port Harcourt and its environ. The spokesperson of the River State Police Command, Grace Irunge Koko, in a statement said the suspects, who were arrested after a petition, confessed to the crime after interrogation. She said the suspects and exhibits are in police custody, while efforts are being intensified to arrest other members of the gang. In the meantime, the Inspector General of Police, Kayode Egbetokun, has donated 6 gunboats to the Marine Police units of the River State Police Command to enhance security on the state's waterway. Presenting the gunboats, representative of the IGP, Deputy Inspector General of Police Mohammed Ali, said the donation was in response to repeated complaints from residents of Bonny about pirate attacks and armed robbery along the waterways. He said the gunboats would strengthen visibility, policing, and combat maritime crimes.
I remember vividly that the IG's office was inundated by complaints from particularly the people from Bonny Island, complaining of sea piracy, armed robbery, and the rest of them. Consequently, the IG, in his magnanimous will, decided that this gunboat be brought here to fight the menace of crime and criminalities along the waterway in order to keep the state clean and safe from all forms of attack. Hence, the IGP Kayode Egbetokun, in his magnanimity, has donated the gunboat to the Marine Police Riverside Command to cope the ever-increasing challenges of the waterways.
He also warned Marine Police officers against using the gunboats for private security operations.
This is also a charge to the first Marine officer who has direct supervisory role to ensure the optimal use of these vessels, to imbibe the culture of proper maintenance on his personnel in order to sustain lasting performance towards maritime operations. Let me remark here and then warn the officers and men of time section here. These gunboats are not to be used or be deployed to private security guards, as it has been the case with some of you. They are meant for you to curb crime and criminalities along the waterways. Sanction definitely will be applied should that happen and any one of you is caught.
Also speaking, River State Governor Siminalayi Fubara, represented by the Secretary to the State Government, Tammy Danagogo, reiterated the governor's commitment to security.
I want to specially, on behalf of His Excellency the Governor, thank the Inspector General of Police for this very laudable initiative. I want to assure you on behalf of the Governor that he will continue to support the Nigerian Police Force and indeed all other security agencies operating in the state. We are aware, and he has always paid or laid a high premium on security, knowing that without security, of course, every attempt at developing the state cannot come to fruition.
Correspondent Emeka Otuka reports that the Assistant Inspector General of Police in charge of Zone 16, Yenugwa Adibola Hamzat, assured residents of the police's readiness to tackle crime across the zone. Moving on, a widow, Nkechi Paul Johnson, has raised alarm over alleged threats to her life by one Amadi and his family members. Speaking to correspondent Emeka Otuka, Mrs. Paul Johnson, a mother of 2, claimed that she was attacked by Amadi and his relatives during a fight with some chiefs in Isiokbo community in Ikwe local government area on the 4th of January 2025. She alleged that the assault left her with dislocated arms. She said despite reporting the incident to the Divisional Police Station Isiokbo, no arrests have been made.
One they used to call Amadi. He was the one that carried the plank hitting me. my hand. Since January till now, I've not gone anywhere inside the room. I have 6 children here in the school. I don't know how they are feeling now. I can't beat myself. I can go out. Even going to Mogawi, I used to treat my hand before. I've stopped. Now somebody is coming to the house here to treat me.
Mrs. Paul Johnson also revealed that she had been receiving calls from an unknown number asking her to come to the police division in Igruta over an alleged petition. She called on the River State Police Command and the public for help.
I can't beat myself. So I was very, very surprised. All these people, I have not even gone anywhere. As you said, they are not to take care of my children. They are not on POS. All these have been indoors. Yesterday, I was surprised on men calling me that Amadi, they wrote a petition against me that I'm using hoodlums to check them. Let them come and help me also, because my life is in danger, even my children's life.
The police is yet to respond to this matter. In other news, a lawyer, Soseliprim Williams, has joined some federal lawmakers from River State to ask the River State Governor, Siminalayi Fubara, to obey the judgment of Justice Omotosho on the State House of Assembly. In an interview with correspondent Suibi Ruwari, Mr. Williams said the court judgment as delivered by Justice Omotosho, in the eyes of the law, is bidding on the governor.
From a legal perspective, if you look at the judgment of Honorable Justice Omotosho James, if you look at the orders that were issued, one of them is for the IG to give the Martins-led House of Assembly members adequate protection. There was an order restraining the governor from making any presentation of anything or nomination to any other House of Assembly except that of Martins Ahuli. And this judgment went on appeal, and the Court of Appeal upheld this judgment. And the order went to the Supreme Court. And the 11 defendants, who is the governor in that suit, they decided to withdraw their appeal. So what is on ground is the Omotosho judgment of 24th January 2024.
However, another lawyer, Innocent Eku, said the advice by the lawmakers loyal to the FCT minister is unconstitutional and should be disregarded.
So that their advice is asking the governor to breach the constitution. And the governor would not do that. That their advice is illegal. That their advice is not compatible to the provision of the constitution in section 109. And so the governor would not take such an advice that is calling upon him to breach a clear provision of the constitution. That provision of the constitution is self-operative. And it has operated.
Still to come, NSA hands over 59 rescued kidnapped victims to Kaduna State government. Stay tuned. Back, the Rates Door Initiative for Team First Aware campaign part of government. It was on Sunday at 14 in Equal Government. Scores of turned out with their support efforts in restoring in the call of the group Raymond God Rashi 1
The Rates Door Initiative can object organize support to world all in it and really for Sasai Fara is what gave me the joy to flag off this door-to-door initiative campaign for His Excellency to spread his good works across the 19 wards in Eche and the 23 local governments in Rivers State.
He also said the group plans to visit Ozuzu and Obite to drum up more support for Governor Fubara. The event was also attended by the paramount ruler of Akpoku Umuoye, Living Samadi. The resource consultant for the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, Holistic Opportunities Program for Engagement, Project Hope, Blessing Fubara, says a Nigerian indigenous company, the Konsi Glories, LLC, will take up responsibility of Project Hope and implement some components of the project. It can fund. Mr. Fubara, who is also the managing and creative director of the Konsi Glories, LLC, made this known at a media conference. He explained that the implementation of some of the programs under Project Hope by the company is as a result of growing concerns and complaints from youths in the Niger Delta region following the delay in implementation by the NC. The implementation will be part of the company's corporate social responsibility.
We today take up a responsibility. Why we wait for our principal to get further, better, and implementation? It is after due consultations that we will rent as a matter of social responsibility some of the specimens of the Project Hope that we can afford to fund within the time. This we are doing with a sincere gesture to the issues bordering around the state of the youths of the region in terms of engagement, employment generation, and interventions generally.
Mr. Fubara also announced that from tomorrow, February 18, the platform for resubmission of the art content for the start of Niger Delta Music and Art Project will be opened and auditions will begin on the 28th.
This we are going to undertake as a corporate social responsibility. We are sure that we are going to implement this to the latter as we have promised the people. Why we still look up to further inclusive and holistic direct from our principal directors, which NC from the 20th of February, auditions for the Niger Delta Music and Arts Project starting from Bayelsa State, Delta State, Edo State, Ondo, across other states of the 9 states of the region.
Correspondent Martha Okere reports that the Executive Director, Relief International Africa, Green Isaac, and a former NDDC Special Advisor on Youth, Alfred Etuk, also spoke.
They promised the youth hope through the Project Hope, and up to this moment, it looks like this hope is not going to come in due time. What is holding the Project Hope from starting? Portals have been given out for people to register that this project in earnest will start, and this is a year plus. We're not very happy. We think that what the Konsi Glories is doing at this moment, we are in sync with them. They have decided to take the bull by the horn.
At this point in time, we are asking same questions other youths are asking. What would have caused the delay for Project Hope not to have been kicked off? But we want to applaud the lead consultant for taking it up himself. So at this point, we will want to appeal to the youths to be patient with the lead consultant, and then to appeal to the youths, while we also appeal to the commission that whatever that is causing this delay should, as a matter of now, be implemented.
The National Bureau of Statistics, NBS, says Nigeria's headline inflation dropped to 24.48% for the month of January. The Bureau put food inflation at 26.08% year-on-year. The National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, has handed over 59 rescued kidnap victims to the Kaduna State government. Mr. Ribadu, who said this while addressing journalists today, said the victims are made up of 28 women, 24 men, and 6 children, while one of them is said to be hospitalized. On the international scene, Lebanon has called for a full Israeli army to pull out from its territory in the south as agreed under a ceasefire agreement involving Hezbollah. President Joseph Aoun held talks with Prime Minister Nawaf Salam and Parliament Speaker Nabi Berri to discuss Israeli violations of the truce deal. These talks came shortly after the Israeli military withdrew from some southern Lebanese towns, but remained in 5 border outposts in violation of the ceasefire. On the news this evening, you heard President Tinubu, former President Obasanjo. Others have mourned the late elder statesman Edwin Clark. Rivers police have arrested transformer vandal syndicates and received gunboats from the IGP. NSA has handed over 59 rescued kidnapped victims to Kaduna State government. And on the foreign scene, Lebanon is calling on the Israeli army to fully pull out from its territory. The news was edited by Onyeka Chinwosu. To reach the news team, send an SMS or WhatsApp to 0808 721 7215. I'm Sam Chinedu. Thanks for listening.